Hi guys, so Seatrout fly today, and this one is from Stephen Jones' book Seatrout Tips, Tricks and Tribulations, and this one is called the Squirrel R and S. It's a fairly simple pattern. There's really only 3 materials in it, barring your thread. So we're going to use a red thread. I am here using Uni 80 for this one, so I'm going to start that onto my shank and break it off. So tied on a size 6 to a size 12 double. This one is the size 6 because for purposes of making videos, the bigger it is, the easier it is to make a video, I find. So the body is holographic silver. Because it's the bigger size, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a fine flat holographic braid for this, but I suppose when you go down the sizes you could just use straight flat holographic tinsel. So tie that down, leave the body fairly flat, it doesn't have to be touching turns. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of super glue on that. And then take our braid and wrap it forward. You can see I just use my finger on each wrap, means I can let go of the braid. That means if there's any twists in it, that'll take it out. I get to the front here, I'm leaving plenty of room for my head, etc. Tie that in and trim it off. And so this fly calls for a false hackle. So for false hackles you can pull off bunches of fibers, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the hackle through. So if you're going to do that, what you need is a sort of a fairly symmetrical feather, and then I'll snip the tip out of it. What I'll do is I'll choose a section that I'm going to use, separate it out like this, like a V, flip it over, and then I place a turn or two loose just in that V. Then what happens is I just pull that forward until the hackle stalk just dips through my wraps. Flip it over, pull this up and trim it off, and then depending on whether if you want it to be thicker than that, use the other bit of the hackle and repeat the process. So set it in 1 or 2 turns and then pull it down until they match for length. Yeah, trim that off. So wing on this fly is blue squirrel. So I have this really nice, rich, dyed blue squirrel here. I'm going to take off a bunch of that. And then we're going to tie that in. I suppose because it's a Seatrout fly, you're not going to want it to be too long there. I'm just going to use my hands to sort of balance up the tip a little bit rather than a hair stacker here. I'm going to put that on so it's a little bit beyond the bend but not too much. So it's up on top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my super glue here. I'm going to super glue a couple inches of my thread, hold that in position and put on several wraps basically on top of each other, because I'm looking a little bit of that just to wick into the tie-in of that. But I don't want the thread to slip either side and give me a silly head. So now what I'll do is I'll just take my blade and I'll just go beyond my thread there, and shave that head down. So that's the fly finish. We just need to finish the head. So we're going to use the red thread to finish the head. So again, I'm going to super glue up thread. Now I'm wrapping just in front of the cut point there because I want some of that glue just to hit the cut ends of the squirrel. Seal the whole thing up. And when I'm done, finish that up. Turn it off, and then I am going to just coat it again in the super glue. Be careful it doesn't wick into your materials, and then I'll leave that to dry, and then it'll get a coat of Sally Hansen clear as nails. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Did, give us a like, subscribe, check out all the other videos in the channel. Until next time, tight lines. Thanks for watching.